you kidding me?
Here's a shot to McRae. They score!
McRae shoots. He scores!
Well, the Birds are back. The players taking to the turf. It's been a long wait to get here, but it's great to be able to say that the NLL and its action are back as the Halifax Thunderbirds host the Saskatchewan Rush. Coming up next, it's the NLL on TSN. Hello again, everyone. It's Pete Dalladay along with Pat Gregoire. It is great to be back home, Patty.
We're back in the nest. The fans are buzzing. The players are ready to get going, and we couldn't have asked for a better rematch. The game of the year, in my opinion, last year.
Yeah, February 15th was the day 2020. Tell us about it.
It was an electric game. Halifax came out really flat, and Saskatchewan took over. But the third quarter comes, and Halifax did a great job. Clawed back, got it overtime. We saw 2 disallowed goals. They eventually lost, but it was a win for the franchise because it made a ton of new fans on the East Coast.
Certainly did. One player to watch that night is the same guy you're going to be watching tonight, Mark Matthews.
Yeah, Mark Matthews. He's a massive body, silky mitts, a great playmaker. You can't be too aggressive on him, but you also can't let him window shot. A tough forward to watch out for indeed.
A player to watch tonight was watching on TV that night, but now he's Nova Scotia's own, and now a Thunderbird, Steph LeBlanc.
Yeah, Steph LeBlanc clearly, he has embraced this place as his home, and he knew that he wanted to be here with his family, but also with a champion contender, and that's what he said. And he's going to be leaned on very heavily in this offense. There's no doubt about that. He's a big body, he's a power forward, but he can use his skill to score goals as well. So a guy I'm really looking forward to seeing. I know the fans here are excited to see their new homeboy.
Well, also another homeboy now is Tyson Geik, and we're going to go downstairs and welcome Tyson to the broadcast with the keys of the game. Tyson?
Thank you very much, Pete. For the Halifax Thunderbirds, first and foremost, shut down that Rush transition game. The last time that these two teams met, 7 goals in transition for the Rush. The Halifax Thunderbirds can't be surrendering that. Next, Warren Hill needs to return to form as the king of the hill. Fantastic in his first season here at the Scotiabank Centre. He's got to try to keep the Rush to below double digits. Next, play 5-on-5 Halifax Thunderbirds lacrosse. Stay out of the penalty box. Don't give the Rush that man-up opportunity. Now we're looking to that other side, the Saskatchewan Rush. They've got some intricate systems on both offense and defense and some new men on the roster. How long will it take them to adapt? They've got to get this game quick and pick it up fast and get to these Halifax Thunderbirds early. Next, Adam Shute. He's got to be great for the Rush tonight. He's got the chance to emerge as the bona fide #1 netminder for the club. It all starts this evening. And finally, for the Rush, they've got to take the 7th man out of this. We expect this building to be absolutely rocking this evening. They've got to get up on the Halifax Thunderbirds quick and keep their foot on the gas.
Thank you, Tyson. We can't wait. Let's get this underway. Coming up next, it's the Halifax Thunderbirds, Saskatchewan Rush on TSN.
More personal financial services and puts the good in banking. Visit Alterna.ca to learn more. By Fanatics.ca, the NLL's home for officially licensed everything. Visit Fanatics.ca today. And by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate. Believe you will.
Well, welcome back inside Scotiabank Centre. Getting close to game time, Patty. Let's take a look at your starting goaltenders here, brought to you by Guaranteed Rate.
Adam Shute, he is a polarizing figure to say the least in Saskatchewan, taking over for Evan Kirk. We'll have to see if he's up to the task. On the other side, a man who has proven he's an elite goaltender, and that is Warren Hill. The king of the hill has become quite the fan favorite here in Halifax. He's looking to build off what was an incredible season last year.
All right, thank you. Let's go downstairs. Tyson Geik, who do you got?
Schattler, Jeff, before the start of the season, you let it be known that this would be your last year of National Lacrosse League lacrosse. Is it somewhat bittersweet suiting up for your last ever season opener?
I'm just going to enjoy every minute of it. I'm very excited to play with these guys and finish my career in Saskatchewan. I'm just going to play each game like it's my last, because eventually it will be. And I'm just going to take it all in. I've had a great career, and I plan on finishing on top.
Best of luck out there, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tyson. One of the best right there, and we'll be watching for him here tonight. It's electric already inside the nest. It's something we're not going to dwell on, but it has been 635 days, Pat, but it's time to move forward here. It's showtime.
Who's counting and who cares? Throw out the countdown, throw out the calendar that you had this date circled for so long. I know I had it hanging in my bedroom, counting down the days. This second, it's finally here. We have lacrosse action back in the nest. We could not have a better matchup between these two top teams. Both teams betting favorites to win the NLL Cup.
Absolutely. This is the first game for the Cup standings, and Jake Withers, who opened the scoring on opening night, 10 seconds in on the opening faceoff, and we're underway in showtime on the East Coast. And the Thunderbirds win the opening faceoff, and they'll set it up from the top and move it in down low. Keel moved it in from Shanks, and now comes to the far side. Out in front, shot and a save there by Adam Shoup. Tested early.
Yeah, that was one of Tyson's keys to the game, and it's true. You got to get to Adam Shoup first. Don't allow Saskatchewan to dictate where the offense is coming from. They like to see those shots from the outside.
There's Matthews. Nice pass, shot by Keenan, and a save by Warren Hill. Up the floor, here comes Tyson Bell. 2-on-1 Halifax. Bell coming in, turns, shoots, and a save by Shoup, his second already in this one.
Great scoring chance by Bell, one of these acquisitions, which was in the, not the last draft, the draft before. So a lot of fans here waiting to see Bell in action. He's going to become a fan favorite, no doubt about that.
Schattler with the ball right now for the Rush. Moves it over towards the far side. Scoreless, we're early here inside the nest. Rush with a chance, a backhand feed, a shot coming, that was blocked. Loose ball up for grabs.
Just an absolutely gritty play by Graham Hossack.
Colton Armstrong getting the ball here, and it's moved ahead.
One quick note. Captain Cody Jameson, a last-minute scratch due to what we're believing is an injury in warm-up, so he's not in. Reese Dutch, another new acquisition. The veteran draws into the lineup.
Holden Garland. Garland with it. He'll move the ball and get off, and here comes Matthews. Matthews. He's got some room. He comes in. Good defensive play by the T-Birds to take it away.
Great trail check there, but that's not the home run check that you want to be throwing on Mark Matthews. A little bit of a miscommunication there on the two-man game, something that this defense has stressed all week long preparing for this. Saskatchewan on offense, their system's intricate, and they're so good with that two-man game.
Clark Peterson with the ball here for Halifax, loses it, and there's a break. The Rush down the floor, coming in. McClellan shoots, he scores! Connor McClellan, it's 1-0 Saskatchewan.
Welcome to the show, Connor McClellan. Get that kid the ball. What an unbelievable play. He strips his former junior teammate, grabs the ball, and runs it all the way down the floor. And we'll see here, beats Warren Hill with a perfectly placed shot. McClellan, a defensive player in the box lacrosse game, but in field lacrosse, an unbelievable offensive midi. 45 goals in his career at Marquette, showing off his skill there. What an unbelievable play for the rookie here early on.
Withers on the draw against Mike Messenger, and Halifax will get possession as they look to tie things up. The ball played here by Campbell. Moves it in, back to the top. We'll see if Halifax can reply. Pass across from Boucher, shot and a save by Shoup. Full 30 here for the T-Birds. Keel passes it over. Some movement here by Halifax. Jackson double team down in the far corner. Loose ball, shoots, trying to get it. He does. He looks up the floor, nobody there. Ball bounces onto the turf, but recovered here by Saskatchewan.
With that last-minute scratch of Jamieson. We'll get to that in a second.
Loose ball, it's going to be a turnover. Here's a chance for Bell. Takes it with one hand. Tyson Bell goes in, shoots, goes high. What a chance.
And Pete there, yes, Tyson Bell doesn't score there. The defense doesn't cash in on a transition chance. But as you see, Brad Gillies, another great transition player, gets that up the floor. And it causes Saskatchewan to come onto the floor too quickly. A too many men penalty. So Saskatchewan going to go to the penalty kill, and it's going to be Halifax coming up with a power play here. And again, I was mentioning it, no Cody Jamieson, so you're missing a lefty. That's going to be a lot of pressure on guys like Eric Fennell, Kyle Jackson, and of course newcomer. Oh, penalty shot.
Penalty shot. Clark Peterson coming in. Peterson fakes, shoots, he scores. CP24. It's a 1-1 game.
Clark Peterson, the guy who got stripped on the first Saskatchewan goal, gets a little revenge here as he comes walking in. Just a little fake, boom, right through the wickets of Adam Shute. Will get a great look here. Couple fakes, and actually goes short side, not 5-0, my apologies. But CP24 picking up where he left off last. An unbelievable rookie season for him here in Halifax.
So Withers against Messenger. This will be the matchup, probably 95% of the night on the draws. 18 versus 8. You'll see a lot of those two on the dots. And Withers can't win this one, and it's going to be Saskatchewan getting it, but look like Messenger. Look out, sticks are up, and tempers are flared already here tonight.
And we're going to get a few penalties here. We see, oh, no, it looks like.
Well, you're getting a few. You're getting two to Halifax.
But I thought there were. We'll see the replay here. And there's Campbell. Clearly that one there, the cross check to the face, but I thought we were going to see another Rush player head to the box.
So a 5-on-3 power play.
Tyson talked about the transition goals last game. The two played 7 goals in transition. Well, there was also 5 power play goals as well, and that's a key that Halifax had to stress, and they have stressed. We heard their coaching staff talk about it. Got to stay out of the box. Got to play 5-on-5. They believe they can beat this team 5-on-5, but they can't be giving them chances like this.
Matthews, there's the pass, there's the shot, they score. Robert Church. That didn't take long. Just 10 seconds into the 5-on-3. It's a 2-1 game.
And this is what I mean. Too much time, too much space, too much talent. Matthews with a fake draws that slide over there from Luke Magnon. And Robert Church will see a great seeing eye shot there. Again, another shot right by that off glove of Warren Hill. Maybe that's what the scouting report is on Hill, because 2 goals. 2 lower block side there.
So lots of excitement already. A penalty shot goal, a power play goal. A little bit of everything so far, and there's still 11:29 to go in the first quarter. Withers, nice job to get it over to Hossack. Bell moves it over to the far side, so it's now down to a 5-on-4 power play for the Rush. Currently, though, Halifax controlling it. Clark Peterson. Peterson gets a little pick, gets a couple steps in, and hammered into the end boards, and then Keogh comes in. Things getting physical early inside the nest. It's going to be Halifax ball, but man, this feels like a playoff game already, Gregor.
Well, we knew these two teams so excited to get back on the floor, but things are getting physical. Cornwall throws Peterson to the ground. Keogh sticks up for his teammate, strips Dilks, and this is where we're going to get that push right there.
Bad bounce there for Halifax, so Saskatchewan with the ball. Messenger Moves it in for Shatler. Matthews over to Church. Church looks, he's got one already. Matthews is open at the top. Another pass to Church, across, they score. Keenan with a quick stick, and it's 3-1 Rush.
Again, Pete, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you cannot give Saskatchewan this many opportunities, especially when it comes to the man advantage. We'll see right here, just great ball movement. Church draws Hossack coming in. Matthews, little fakes to behind the back, and it's that quick stick coming across that frees up enough space for Keenan for that quick stick goal. And Warren Hill with absolutely no chance on that one. 3-1, the Rush lead.
Ryan Keenan giving the Rush that 2-goal lead. So that will do it for the power plays. Back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. Ball's kicked around, bouncing around, and it's going to be controlled here by Halifax as Jackson gets it. Hossack across, and he was looking for Shanks. Maybe one too many passes there, Pat. Hossack had a chance and was being unselfish, but maybe could have fired. There's Matthews. Mark Matthews moving it way over. And the Rush looking to build on their lead. Shot, and Hill comes over, makes the save.
One thing talking to actually the entire coaching staff when it comes to this defense, they're so athletic, they're so skilled, but sometimes they want to push transition a little bit too much.
Here's transition for Saskatchewan coming down. It's Cornwell over the top, shoots, and Warren Hill gets a glove on it. And now the T-Birds heading down the other way, looking to close the gap. Luke Magna.
Oh, Pete, as we know, a 2-goal lead is nothing.
Nothing.
As we saw last time, a 9-goal lead was nothing.
Dutch moves it over, that's correct. Nothing was safe that night. Bouchy to the far side. In for Steph LeBlanc. Couldn't handle it. Rush up the other way with 9 minutes to go here in this opening quarter.
And that's just peak Saskatchewan defense there. Dilks with the slide. Rubish coming in hard. And the ball immediately, boom, down on the turf, up and out.
Matthews working one-on-one here against David Brock, one of the new additions on the back end for the T-Birds. 3-1 Saskatchewan leading. We'll be back. You're watching the NLL on TSN. Tonight's game is part of the Alterna Cup, our season-long competition between the NLL's Canadian franchises.
Obviously no records yet as it's opening weekend, but this is going to be something so exciting to see.
We're underway, and what a pass up the floor. If Corbeil can get it, Corbeil comes in, shoots, and a nice save by Warren Hill. The fan favorite, one of them here in Halifax. Turnover. Dilks comes in, pass back towards the top to the crease, shot, and another stop by Hill. Back-to-back stops by the king of the hill.
Big stop there by Hill, but that second one could have been resolved if he didn't go for that home run pass. Again, Halifax really trying to force things right now. Got to get back to just slowing things down, not getting into a track meet.
Shot taken from way out, comes off the end boards. And a reset for Halifax on the shot clock. Pass intended for LeBlanc, but again, unable to grab it, and it's going to be Saskatchewan ball.
And one thing I did mention earlier, just 3 lefties in the lineup here, 5 righties due to that last-minute scratch of Jamison. So it might be tough for these righties to get in a groove with it being so jumbled up right now.
Solid play by Scott Campbell. The fans appreciate the veteran's effort. Up the ball, or up the floor it goes. It's going to be Peterson shooting. Tried to go over the shoulder, but went high and wide, and the ball up and out of play.
Scott Campbell just aging like a fine wine. The oldest player in the National Lacrosse League, believe it or not, playing like a youngster out there. He actually said the COVID break was maybe one of the best things for him, allowing him to rest, get in the best shape of his life.
And now he has one of the best home gyms in the entire league. Great home gym in his garage. Back in, so Saskatchewan will get the ball back in a full 30, leading 3-1.
A lot of self-inflicted wounds right now by Halifax. They got to get back to playing their own game.
Scheidler looking to find Littner. Littner comes to the top, takes a bounce shot, misses the mark. And loose ball scooped up here, taken by Jake Withers. Halifax getting the offense out there. As David Brock gets the ball to Stephen Keogh. Keogh to Bushi. To the far side, Jackson, here's a chance, across. Little fake, no shot yet. 9 seconds on the shot clock. To the top it comes. And trying to get in there is Eric Fennell. And Fennell knocked down. Ball still available, backhand shot. Oh, so close. What an effort right at the shot clock was about to expire.
And an unbelievable chance there by Reese Dutch. But we'll see here, 3 sweaters swarm as Rubish with his patented one hand on the stick. That time he doesn't get away with it. Normally it's one hand on the stick and a quick little swing or a swipe of the stick. But that time he gets the offhand on the body, and he's going to sit down for 2 for a hold.
There's a shot, stop, rebound. Peterson tries to get there, but getting there ahead of him was Chris Corbeil. Passes it ahead, looking for Garland. Shanks is there. He's knocked out, but still gets a one-handed pass across. And Luke Magna with the ball. He'll pass it off and head to the bench, and Shanks is slow to get to the bench. Here's Kyle Jackson. Jackson. Clark Peterson back to Jackson. Shoots an underhand shot. That was blocked. Getting in front of that one was Kyle Rubish. Peterson. He'll man the top of this power play over to the shooter position. To the near side, out in front. Right at the top of the crease, but taken away by Corbeil. Corbeil, double team. Tries to bounce off the check thrown by Peterson. He's got about 20 fans in to watch him tonight. Lots of family down this way.
Great forecheck by Halifax. That's a couple of times now to extend this possession.
Peterson shoots. That goes wide of the goal. Power play continues. 52 seconds left in it. There's a little bounce pass. Dutch gets it back, or he was hoping to get it back. It was intercepted. Good defensive play by Dilks.
It's going to be a penalty here on, I believe, Steph LeBlanc for a hold.
Rush with it. Delayed penalty. Matthews. And Halifax will get it. And the penalty will be called. With 4:20 to go in the opening quarter, Saskatchewan leading Halifax 3-1. You're watching the NLL on TSN. Welcome back inside Scotiabank Center. Let's go down to the bench. Tyson Geik standing by with Mike Kersey. Tice.
Thank you very much, Pete. Mike, team's down by a couple late in the first. What do you make of your team's performance so far?
Oh, I think it's been good. I mean, it's kind of what you expected, right? They got 2 power play goals and a broken play. So, we're fine. We just got to settle in. Old guys are squeezing their sticks a little bit. So that's the game of lacrosse. So we'll get there.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, so it's going to be a little 4-on-4 lacrosse to get back into action here, and then Saskatchewan will go on a power play for about 1:40 if they need it. Matthews looks up at the clock, looking for the rush penalty to expire. Then they'll get a quick play in here, and they'll have about 9 seconds to work with on the shot clock when they get onto the power play.
That's great math there, Pete.
That's shocking that I got it right. Scheidler down to the crease, quick stick, and that is stopped by Warren Hill.
And Dan Littner would have been called for crease anyways if Hill didn't turn that aside. Dan Littner, one of the other new faces in Saskatchewan's rush, but a lot of familiarity with this team. Played junior lacrosse under Jeff McComb, who was an assistant coach, who's now the head coach of Saskatchewan. We haven't even talked about that yet.
No, he's been waiting a long time for this game because named the head coach back in the early days of the pandemic.
Yeah, he joking with us saying he's the first NLL coach to ever go undefeated in his first season with a 0-0 record.
3:22 to go here in this first quarter. 3-1 rush. Dutch moves it over, killing off as much of this penalty as they can here. There's 20 left on the shot clock. Lots of time left in the penalty. 48 there. Stephen Keogh, the veteran here. Double teamed, knocked down to the turf, but still maintaining possession of the ball. Coming in to help out is Kyle Jackson. The rush will grab it. Cornwell with it. He'll slow it down, and the rush will get out their power play.
Good job there by Keogh and the offense to chew up some clock. Now by the time Saskatchewan's going to get their entire offense out, will be under 20 seconds in this power play.
Matthews waiting for it at the top. Backhand feed. Keenan the same with a backhander. Shadler missed out of the crease. The ball goes up and out of play off a rush player. So Halifax will get it. Unbelievable rotation by the penalty kill. Shout out Luke Magnan there. Doing a great job coming across. Coma slide there to knock that pass down. Chris Boucher to Clark Peterson. Ball moved in deep. Back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. Thunderbirds trying to close the gap here in the later part of the first quarter. Here's Dutch. Dutch has room, shoots, and a save by Shoot. Ball up for grabs still here along the near boards. Battle continues. Peterson with it. If he can grab it here, but the rush come out with it. Rubish loses it. What back and forth battle that was, Pat. And great job by Halifax there. Another great forecheck. And yes, they didn't get the ball initially, but they killed enough clock where Saskatchewan, all they had to do was just dump it down the end, or there would have been a possession call. Peterson with a bounce pass over to the far side. LeBlanc. Here's Keogh with a shot. That bouncer goes up and out of play. Well, it's been stuck at 3-1 here for a while. The rush with a chance to increase their lead. Ball played by Bobby Kidd. He gets it. Here it's Matthews with it. Matthews with a pass out front, shot, hit the crossbar. Hill gets a piece of it as well. Down the other way, here's a chance. Brad Gillies, he shoots. That goes wide. Penalty, I believe, coming up. And once again, we're going to get a penalty shot. Wow. And Saskatchewan's not pleased about that at all, as they say it wasn't a breakaway. Very unusual to get two penalty shots in the first quarter, or even in one game, really. Let alone an opportunity to score your first two goals on a penalty shot. And Captain Chris Corbeil chatting with Matt Garrison, the lead official for tonight, with Josh Hiltz as well. And like you said, not very often we see penalty shots in the game of lacrosse. Never mind two. And by the same player here. Clark Peterson has been absolutely money anytime I've seen him on a breakaway, and clearly with a penalty shot earlier today. Let's see if he can do it again. Peterson fakes, same move, and Shoot with the save this time. Yeah, that's a big stop there by Shoot on the penalty shot. We'll see here, Peterson flips the ball, just shows all the confidence he has. Again, a couple of fakes and tried for that side. We'll get an even better angle here. And Shoot, great athleticism, getting that hand down to make the save. So it remains 3-1 with under 50 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Opening night here in Halifax. league opened up with a bit of a low-scoring game last night, Pat.
Yeah, it was a low-scoring game, especially in that first quarter. Just one goal. Offense has started to open up a little bit, but certainly those who maybe made a wager on the over might have had some buyer's remorse last night.
Here's Stephen Keogh. There's the pass. There's the shot over the top by LeBlanc. A little too high. And Corbeil grabs the loose ball. Looks up at the clock, realizes he's got lots of time. The shot clock and the score clock pretty much matching up here, so they're trying to call a timeout. And they finally get it with 19 seconds left on both clocks.
As I mentioned, Matt Garrison, Josh Hiltz, the officials. Also Brandon Hessen, one of the officials for tonight. Scott McMullen inside the timekeeper's booth as well as our SCO.
I think the Rush are arguing they would have liked that timeout called. They were trying to call it probably with closer to 24 seconds on the clocks, but looks like it'll stay at 19, which is still plenty of time for a play or two.
And as you saw on the bench there, Jimmy Quinlan rejoining the Rush bench as we saw him step away for a couple of years, but with head coach Derek Keenan moving to just his general manager position, and so it decided him to flip back in, but instead of running the defense, he's on the offensive side now.
So Matthews will start with the ball here, and they have 19 seconds to work with. The net is empty, so should Halifax steal, they'll have a chance at an empty net, unless Shute can get back there in time. But they'll just probably work the clock down to about 6 seconds before they even start a play here. And here we go. Matthews moves it over to the top. Coming in, shot by Keenan, and Warren Hill grabs the ball, took the net with him and everything. Everything but the kitchen sink. And that will do it. We had a little bit of everything there in the opening quarter, and it's going to be Saskatchewan taking a 3-1 lead into quarter number 2. Welcome back inside Scotiabank Center, where the Thunderbirds are trailing Saskatchewan by a score of 3-1. Interesting first quarter.
Let's make some noise for the Thunderbirds.
A little helter-skelter on both sides, but man, we talked about how Halifax was going to focus on playing 5-on-5 lacrosse. Well, if you look at it here, 2 power play goals for Saskatchewan and then a transition goal. So Saskatchewan has not been able to really generate many chances 5-on-5 offensively. It's been whenever, as Tyson said in his pregame, power play, transition, 2 things they got to watch, and Saskatchewan's capitalized. But that's what good teams do. They capitalize on those mistakes. Halifax got to find a way to capitalize on the Rush's mistakes.
Withers and Messenger on the draw. Withers will win this one. Grabs it and goes. Withers heading towards the net. Dishes it off. He'll head to the bench. Change sticks. And be ready to go on the back end. Kyle Jackson. Bushi moves it in. There's a nice pass out front. Shot. They score! Chris Bushi. It's a 3-2 lacrosse game.
That is exactly what the doctor ordered for a start to this quarter for the Halifax Thunderbirds. And it could not have come from a better character. And Chris Bushi, he has been one of the biggest stories in training camp. A guy that didn't see much playing time last season. But when he was in the lineup, boy, he could produce. He just did not get the opportunities. Came into this season with a completely different mindset, in great shape, and it showed as he earned a spot in the opening lineup, and he needed to step up there. Huge goal. Halifax trails by just 1.
A real early one here in the second quarter. And it all started with a face-off win by Jake Withers. He gets that one as well. He's in around 800 face-off wins now, I think, Pat.
Absolutely. We don't have the live stats working just yet for face-offs, but boy, is he not automatic.
Steph LeBlanc. Here's a chance. Running out of real estate at the top of the crease was LeBlanc, and he gets knocked right into it. And the rush with it as they head up the other way. Chris Corbeil. Little shovel pass, but solid hit into the boards thrown by Brad Gillies. And David Brock will pick up the ball here for Halifax, up to Tyson Bell. A couple newcomers here. Bell coming in. Bell swings it over into the far corner. Back to Bell. Bell looks, and he'll slide it over again. 15 seconds on the shot clock, so plenty of time. Farnell with it. Eric Farnell. Illegal pick. Thunderbirds have to give up the ball, and the Rush get it. Garland moves it, gets it right back. Look, shoots, he scores. Holden Garland bounces one past Hill, and once again the Rush are up by 2.
Transition, transition, transition. Another goal. As we see, Holden Garland, great job, swings it to the far side, gets the ball back from Matthews, another assist. Who else but Matthews getting it here? But Garland, from his wrong side, just uncorks a bomb from the outside that beats Warren Hill. We know Saskatchewan's defense, hard-nosed, play a great system, but when they get their scoring chances, they can make other teams pay.
Here's Campbell. Campbell getting it over to Graham Hossack, one of the assistant captains here in Halifax, and probably future captain down the road. Here's a chance for now. Right there, got into the crease. Maybe a call coming as well. And a power play here for Halifax.
Halifax looking to throw that counter punch as they finally got it within 1. But we saw that transition goal the other way by Garland to extend it to that 2-goal lead again. So Halifax, and you could tell that when we've seen them on the power play, Clark Peterson playing the top, normally that's Cody Jamieson. So a little bit of a different look than what we've been seeing in training camp.
Shot never made its way through. Clark Peterson retrieves the loose ball, gets it to Dutch. Dutch, Peterson, Dutch at the top, LeBlanc back to Dutch, fake, shoots, just misses on the short side. Hustles, he's gonna have time to make a pass or two and get a shot. Well, they got a reset, so lots of time. This is played by Steph LeBlanc. LeBlanc, pass back to LeBlanc, down towards the crease, Dutch gets it back. There's LeBlanc again. 12 seconds on the shot clock, LeBlanc. Towards the top, sidearm shot by Clark Peterson. Never made its way through. Rush with it. Corbeil moves it right down the center lane. Ball still up for grabs. A shot, and Hill with a save, but it was a crease violation anyhow. Nonetheless, a good stop.
The Rush, their penalty kill, unbelievable job. A couple of huge block shots there, sacrificing the body. Halifax, they're going to have to figure out another way to generate some offense here on the power play. Shots just coming from the top, not being able to even get on net. Another block shot. Are you kidding me?
Keogh couldn't get it through that time. Halifax gets a break, went off the Rush. And it's going to be a reset on the shot clock. Kyle Jackson. Jackson. Keogh moves over, sets a pick, allows Jackson some room. Shot, nice save. Adam Shute gets an arm on it. Full 30 for the Thunderbirds. Jackson shooting in it. Saved by Adam Shute. A good Lucy by Halifax. A shot that never made its way through. Kyle Jackson coming in. Jackson pass as Dutch was heading towards the crease looking for it. Play by Keogh. Keogh pumps, shoots, and a save. Ball all the way up the floor. So Halifax with some looks, Pat, but nothing to show for it.
A couple of good scoring opportunities, but a couple, like we mentioned, block shots by Saskatchewan. I like the look where they had Stephen Keogh in the middle and then even set that pick to the top to free up some space.
Here come the Rush, up by 2. Pass over, comes to the near side for Robert Church. He moves it, shot coming. Church picks up the loose ball, shoots. He scores his second of the game. Robert Church.
This is just heads-up play by a headsy player in Robert Church. We'll see. He gets the ball over to the far side. That shot from Keenan goes wide, but he crashes the net, and Colton Armstrong gets caught ball watching, and he didn't even have a stick as well. So Church knew if he crashes the net, there's a good chance he's going to beat his man, and a great job. Jumps, hits the back of the cage before he lands. That's going to be a good goal. 5-2. Saskatchewan extends the lead to 3.
Withers and Messenger meet again for the draw.
And that's their first 5-on-5 settled goal we've seen, Pete. Power play, transition, first settled situation that we've seen them score, and you could even call it a broken play.
A little bit for sure. Bobby Kidd with the ball right now for the Rush. And a penalty coming up against Halifax. So the Rush will throw out the extra attacker already here. They have 13 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Church gets the ball back, looks, passes down low, shot. That was blocked and comes right back. They might get another shot away, but it's got to be now or never. They're going to run out of time. No, they got to reset, so they'll keep on trucking. They got this, and then they'll have a full power play if they need it. Church back and forth, playing catch. Church coming in over the top. Hill gets a piece, and that goes up and out of play. 9:38 to go in the half. We'll be back with a power play for the Rush. You're watching the NLL on TSN. Welcome back to Halifax. Let's go downstairs. Tyson's got head coach Jeff McComb with him.
Jeff, prior to the game, we spoke about the new men on the roster and getting adjusted to new systems. What do you think so far?
Thought our defense has been really, really good. 5-on-5, man down, blocking a ton of shots. So defensively, we've been going real well. We got to get our own kind of up to speed with where our D's at right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyson. 9:38 to go here in the first half, and Halifax will restart here on a power play. In the box is Brad Gillies. Church to the top. Matthews back to Church. Church looks, shoots, goes over the top. Loose ball taken here by Halifax. Good job to get it down inside Rush territory. Luke Magna moves it over. Here's a shot. Campbell scores! Short-handed goal by Soupy Campbell.
Crack open a can of Campbell's. It's an absolute howitzer from the outside from the veteran. Shanks gets that across, and bam, right in the back of the net, in and out of his stick. The veteran has found the fountain of youth over the last couple of years, and he just shows his stuff there. Not just an elite defender, but that is a goal scorer's goal from Scott Campbell on the short-handed opportunity as well. A much, much needed goal here for Halifax to get this crowd back into the game.
Campbell had one of those big goals in that almost huge comeback that we were talking about off the top, and it was even from further out than that, I think, that night. Battle for the ball on the boards, and the Rush, they continue on the power play. That's the good news for them. They give up the shorthanded one, but they have a chance to get one back. And even things out as far as the penalty to Gillies is concerned. Matthews with it. Mark Matthews to Robert Church. Church back to Matthews. Church across the far side this time, and good defensive play again by the Thunderbirds. Campbell right there in the thick of things. Magnan 2, and it's going to be Halifax ball. Little 2-on-2. Jake Withers. He'll get it eventually here with 40 seconds left in the power play. So Halifax will kill as much as they can. They see an opportunity, obviously they'll take it. Steph LeBlanc. LeBlanc with some nifty footwork with a bounce shot. That goes wide.
Adam Shute disagreeing there. He seems to think that didn't go off the shoulder, but his opinion not really all too much of a factor here, as the official says, nope, that went off the shoulder. It's going to stay here with Halifax. 15 seconds to go here in the power play for Saskatchewan.
LeBlanc takes it, moves it right back to the other side for Dutch. Little pass out in front, and LeBlanc was cutting through. He knew he was running out of time and just dumps it away. So the Rush will have a little time here to set things up. Back to 5-on-5 again. As they control it. Up by 2. Here's Courier with it. Courier looking. Shot is blocked. 2-on-1 for Halifax if they can get going. Out of the gate. Coming through, and a little too early, I guess. Fans don't approve here in Halifax. They're starting to learn the game real quick here, Pat. They love their lacrosse here on the East Coast.
And Coach Micah Kersey seems to agree with that there, and didn't get a chance to see the replay there.
I mean, it was close.
We'll see here, Pete. Take a look here. So Armstrong fumbles with the ball, and I think the officials got that right. It was mightily close.
So another power play here for the Rush. There's a shot, and it's across the line. No, Warren Hill with a save.
Unbelievable, Warren Hill. That's the thing with the Saskatchewan Rush offense. Always have to be on your toes. You never know where they'll strike, in front of the net, in the middle, even behind the net. They show they can score.
Kyle Jackson rolling away from a check to LeBlanc. Short-handed again. Here's Jackson, grabs it, moves it over. Shot, handled, no problem by Adam Shute. He looks up the floor, all the way up at center. And it's going to be taken right there by Bobby Kidd. Kidd looking to find an open man. Get this power play going again. Here's Matthews. 6:10 to go here in the first half. Matthews, pass, quick stick, they score. A power play goal, Dan Littner.
Matthews to Littner. You haven't heard that in the National Lacrosse League, but if you're a fan of junior lacrosse in Ontario, you've heard that with the Whitby Warriors plenty of times. Or with the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club in major series, but those two connect perfectly. That ball was barely in Littner's stick before it was behind the net. And again, Warren Hill, no chance, almost makes the save there. Great athleticism by Hill to anticipate and get over, but Littner beats Hill, and once again, another power play goal here for the Rush.
So right now they have Halifax doubled up 6-3 with 6:06 to go in the second quarter. And the draw one here by Jake Withers. Withers, bounce pass into the corner. See if the Thunderbirds can chip away. Try and get within 1 or 2 before the half. Kyle Jackson. Jackson rolls towards the top. There's the pass, there's the shot, just missing. Comes all the way back to Jackson. He'll pass it to Steph LeBlanc. LeBlanc heading to the crease, dives. Just to avoid the crease, jumped. What a save by Shute. Halifax back on D. Tyson Bell coming out. One of the newest members of the Thunderbirds. Had a couple good chances in the first quarter. Church with it. Church. We'll get it to Keenan. Keenan coming over, and now Church takes the feed back. Shot in Ward Hill. No problems there for a Hill. He makes the save and gets the puck or the ball here to Tyson Bell. Bell moves it up. Here's a chance, and coming in. Halifax denied. Rush quickly. Coming in with a shot. Ward Hill with a save. One of his better stops of the night. Rebound, so a full 30 here. Awarded to Saskatchewan. Pass picked off by Halifax. Down by 3. Scott Campbell with the ball. Passes it up to LeBlanc. Kyle Jackson now. Jackson looking for an open man. Hanging on to it now. He gets it to Steph LeBlanc. Passes far side shot. Great save. Getting the arm on it was shoot on a pretty heavy shot. Full 30 here for the Thunderbirds. Jackson to Steph LeBlanc. Both residents here of Nova Scotia. Both locals. Good defensive play by Messenger. However, we get a whistle. 4:01 to go in the half. 6-3. The Rush lead it. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on TSN. We are back. Halifax with the ball, trailing 6-3, getting into the later stages of this opening half. Trying to get within 2. Clark Peterson. Good defensive play there, again by Mike Messenger. And the Rush with the ball.
Mike Messenger is an absolute problem. Dude is an absolute beast. What a great individual play. That's now 2 bone-crunching hits. Oh, we've seen.
Here's his steal. Jake Withers heading up the floor. Picks up a speed, shoots, he scores! Jake Withers with a dandy. Gets Halifax to within 2.
Jake Withers, one of the most underrated defenders in the NLL. Yeah, he's pretty good at taking faceoffs, but he's a pretty darn good defender there as you see him force the turnover, pick up the loose ball, and go all the way down, beat shoot, and even gets crunched there as he takes it to the rack. An absolute hard-nosed play by a hard-nosed defender in Withers. We know he's the best face-off guy in the world, Pete. But it's about time people start realizing how good of a defenseman he is.
And some pretty good mitts on him, too. Pretty good hands. Goes to the net. Gets Halifax to within 2. Messenger wins this draw. And it's going to be Beers with it. Matty Beers to Schattler. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Courier coming in. Courier against Bell. And back towards the top. Keenan out in front. Matthews was cutting, but Luke Magnan was on him. And here's a chance. Partial breakaway coming in. Gillies shoots. He scores! And the nest is rocking in Halifax.
Brad Gillies, vintage Brad Gillies, we'll say, on the breakaway with a beauty fake and a shot. Talking with Mike Accursi in the offseason, he said that's one thing he was really hoping to see from Gillies again, getting him back involved in scoring goals in transition. The fans, you said, they're buzzing here at the nest, but we're now seeing some confidence from Halifax. Scoring goals in transition, and they're doing the right thing. They're taking the net when they have the opportunities, not forcing it, and a great loose ball there by Tyson Bell to get that as well. Got to get that in there, because that was a great play by Bell to even start that scoring opportunity.
Messenger against Withers. on this draw, getting deep now into the second quarter. 2:40 left. 6-5 game. Withers coming in, and eventually picked up here by Campbell. With second effort by Jake Withers. He just doesn't give up on those draws. Double team. Good play by the Rush. We got a lost lid, and we got a player down. Clark Peterson, I think, who's in some difficulty. The play continues. In the meantime, shot. Warren Hill with the save. Off Connor McClellan. Play continues. Thunderbirds with it. Kyle Jackson. Jackson shoots. Got it up a little high. Halifax controlling it though. 15 seconds on the shot clock, and Mboushi with a shot. And now we have a Rush player down.
No call there. Just going to be a moving pick.
Here's a shot. Hit the post. Rebound. Full 30 for the Rush. Lindner got knocked down, but still got the ball. To Dilks. Courier moves it over. Matthews with it, gets high-sticked a little bit. And David Brock's going to go to the box. Tyson Bell knocking his man down.
And the rough stuff continues between these two teams. This is just going to be unfortunate here for Halifax. Just tempers flaring a little bit too much. We're going to get the original hold or a high stick from Brock, but it's the retaliation there from Bell. So we'll have to wait and see what it is. It's going to be at least a two-man advantage. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more. Actually, as I mentioned that, it looks like Lintner is going to sit down. So we see Lintner, the lone man in the box for Saskatchewan, and Bell and him yipping back and forth. They're still furious at each other right now. Brock, the other Thunderbird in the box. He was the original penalty on Matthews.
Yeah, stick came up.
We'll maybe see if Matt Garrison has the call down on the floor. He'll let us know.
The original foul, Halifax number 3, minor penalty for holding. 94 for illegal cross-check. Additional minor penalty for dead ball foul. Saskatchewan 41 has a minor penalty for embellishment. It's 5-on-4 for 4 minutes.
Well, NLL wired right there. You got it right from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, Matt Garrison explaining that perfectly. So Bell with the 2 penalties.
4 minutes goes up, and that's it.
And you can hear that there. 4 minutes goes up. So a 4-minute 5-on-4 power play. Bell gets that initial rough, plus the loose ball, or dead ball foul, I should say. And Lintner actually gets a penalty unsportsmanlike for embellishing. So 5-on-4 we go for 4 minutes.
There's Church. Church to Matthews. Mishandled it. He got it right back, though. He'll move it over. Here's Church again with a shot, a bounce shot. Warren Hill with a safe rebound. Full 30. Did they get the reset? Yeah, they do. Church to Matthews. We have a minute left here in the second quarter. Quick stick attempted by Shadler. Gillies on him. Good battle in the far corner. In there, too, is Graham Hossack. Hossack gives his man a bit of a whack. One-hander. The Rush get it back, though. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Church shoots. What a save. Warren Hill. Fantastic stop by the King of the Hill here in Halifax.
The King of the Hill is back on his throne here in the nest. And the fine people here in Halifax couldn't be happier. Tough turnover there by Gillies.
Corbeil on the steal.
And Gillies, what an unbelievable game he's had so far. He's got the goal, but it's a lot of the little gritty things he's doing. Blocking shots, picking up loose balls, and playing great sound defense.
There's only 15 seconds left in this quarter. Rush looking for one more before it ends. Church down to the crease, blocked. Hossack picks it up, throws it up the floor, and that will be enough, though, for now. Lots of action in the first half of this one. Before we do go to Tyson, we do want to mention, stick around for the Guaranteed Rate halftime report is coming up. Tyson is going to have a great feature coming up on Every Child Matters in honor of NLL Unites program. It is one you're going to want to watch for sure. Perhaps an emotional piece as well.
Absolutely, and that's why they're wearing those different jerseys here tonight, which we haven't even had too much of a time to talk about, but you're going to hear all about it at the halftime show.
Tyson has Scott Campbell joining him here. Tyson.
Thanks a lot, Pete. Scott, I know that tonight you must be feeling all the emotions, but after half, how are you feeling physically?
Yeah, I mean, a little tired. We got a couple guys gone down here, so we all just got to step up and play a little bit more here. And yeah, we're pulled back in. We kind of, I myself took a stupid penalty early and got us down, and then we'll just claw back at it, these guys, you know.
Before the game, Cody Jamieson going down with injury. How does the team adjust to losing a player like that?
I mean, you don't like, you can't really replace Cody. It's just, now it's got to be just a group effort, and everybody's got to step up, and I think you're starting to see it, and we'll just keep going.
Keys to success in the second half?
Yeah, come out flying, match their energy, and then beat it. And I think you started to see kind of the momentum turn there a little bit, and just keep riding that wave.
Thanks a lot, Sue.
You got it. Thanks, man.
Back up to you guys.
Tyson, thanks very much. And Scott is.
For mild to moderate eczema, Eucrisa can be used almost everywhere, on almost every body, like the wrist of a racer. Or
after one half, you're watching the NLL on TSN.
Wasn't me. You're never responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover.
Welcome back to the Guaranteed Rate halftime reports, and it's 6-5 Rush leading after the first half. In honor of the NLL Unites program and Every Child Matters, Tyson Geik with members of the Thunderbirds organization and their families to hear their stories of truth and reconciliation.
Tonight we play for more than just each other. That was the message that head coach Micah Kersey delivered to the Thunderbirds prior to this evening's matchup against the Saskatchewan Rush. Now, you may have noticed the Thunderbirds are wearing these special jerseys that have been designed by team owner and general manager Kurt Stiers and longtime Thunderbirds employee Charlie Ragusa. That is for Every Child Matters night. On these jerseys, the handprints of residential school survivors, also the family members of those in the Thunderbirds organization.
Yeah, when I called my grandmother to ask her about her having her handprint on the back of our jerseys, it was a little bit emotional for me. Not emotional in the sense that I was crying, but like nervous. I was a little bit scared.
I can't even describe that feeling. That hand was a really big deal to me. When Cody asked me, the handprint to me is the laying on of hands. I believe that when people need help, need prayer, laying on of hands brings that contact, a personal contact that you really care. When my handprint on those jerseys, it's like I'm laying my hand on each one and praying that God will do good work in their life. And I want each of the players to know that I'm praying for them.
we're thinking about it, then I said, well, let's, you know, we're part of the survivors also. I said, well, why not use our survivors? So I went over and asked my mom, and she was kind of surprised that I had asked her about putting her handprint on there. She was kind of surprised and excited at the same time. And I think she got kind of emotional when we had asked her, like the memories that was flowing through her from the past. And I think it means a lot to her, not only to her, but you know, to us too as the children and my children.
For me, it was a surprise when he said, I want your handprint. I said, what's this for? And he said, to recognize you as a survivor. And I said, oh, you're going to recognize me. You're not mad at me for being a survivor.
Now, this is one of the first times that many residential school survivors have felt heard and understood, and a night like tonight is a big part of the healing process.
Yeah, it's been long overdue to talk about the survivors of the residential schools. It's about time that they had their day and they were heard.
It's a big honor for somebody, you know, you're a big organization to be able to recognize that it did a lot of damage to us.
Never had this happen before, so I guess it's good to be acknowledged as a survivor.
I would really just like, you know, people in attendance, anybody, listen with an open heart, open arms, and you know, educate yourself a little bit. Just try to understand, you know, what we're going through as a community, what our people are going through, you know, the trauma and the tragic things, and it's being passed down from, you know, generation to generation until we can, you know, actually heal and reconcile and move on.
Following tonight's game, the Thunderbirds will have these very special Every Child Matters jerseys auctioned off individually online, with proceeds going to residential school survivor programs across the province and country.
Well, great story there by Tyson. And we had an opportunity as well to speak with Kurt Stiers this morning. A great opportunity to chat about that history and his mom and his aunts and Cody's grandmother Donna as well. Just an emotional night and day here a little bit, isn't it, Pat?
Yeah, unbelievable what the Halifax Thunderbirds organization is doing. And hopefully we see more of this.
Absolutely. All right, stick around. We'll continue, ladies and gentlemen. We got highlights coming up. It's the Guaranteed Rate Halftime Reports. You're watching the NLL on TSN. And welcome back to the Guaranteed Rate Halftime Report. 6-5 rush after the first half. We saw a little bit of everything there in the first two quarters, Patty.
Maybe not as crazy and wild the last time these two teams have been. Hey, it's only been one half, so who knows what we're expected to see. But one thing we did say that we were ready to see was Saskatchewan capitalize on mistakes and then capitalize on transition goals. And of course, on the power play, that's a transition goal there. We see this is one of the only 5-on-5 goals we saw, but still a little bit of a broken play. But Saskatchewan so good at capitalizing whenever Halifax made mistakes. But we finally saw a pushback here from the Thunderbirds. We'll see another look right here as that second goal from Brad Gillies and the roof pops up. But Saskatchewan, one X factor to this game has been physicality, really laying the boom. They've done just such a good job keying in on some of these forwards. Mike Messenger, a big factor, laying his body, blocking shots as you see Rubish here. And just doing a great job getting into lanes. A chance there that actually did go through, but Messenger, here's this big hit there. One of many, absolutely throws Peterson to the turf. Has been a physical specimen ever since he's jumped into the National Lacrosse League, but it's clearly been on play here tonight.
6-5 rush coming up, second half action. You're watching NLL action on TSN. Here we go, second half action. Rush leading the Thunderbirds 6-5. Withers right off the draw. Gotta get here to Hosick. Graham Hosick to Clark Peterson. And Peterson to Kyle Jackson. Jackson with a little fake, hangs on to it, cradles it, rolls to the top, decides not to take the shot, passes it off to Peterson. Peterson, back to Jackson. Jackson looks, shoots, oh, almost snuck it in past Shoot. Almost bounced off his leg and in, but Halifax couldn't get a bounce.
Little sneaky shot there from Jackson, but how about that hard pick set by the big body of LeBlanc? One of the many reasons why he was acquired here. Not just to put up points, but to free up some space.
Ryan Keenan to Matthews. Matthews down to the crease as hits the crossbar. Courier coming close. Goes up and out of play, but off the net, and it's a reset here for the Rush. Matthews, little catch with Church. Keenan with a quick stick. No problems for Ward Hill. He comes over, played it well. Scott Campbell gets it up over center floor and it's going to slow it down a little bit. Gets it here to Brad Gillies. Gillies over to the far side. Halifax a shot away from tying up this game. Eric Fennell. Fennell shoots, just misses. Had 3 guys on him, Patty.
Yeah, Eric Fennell having to play more of a huge shot there from Stephen Keogh.
That's got Shoot a little bit right in the belly where.
I was going to say about Fennell having to play more of an offensive role as we're used to seeing. Of course, he's an offensive player, but what I mean, you know, the ball's more in his stick. He's taking more offensive chances. Normally, he's a crasher and a banger, but with Jamison down, he's playing a much bigger role.
Here's Matthews with it. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Pass to Keenan. Keenan rolls. Tried a crazy sort of blind pass. He almost pulled it off, and a big hit there by Graham Hossack.
Graham Hossack having a relatively quiet night for Graham Hossack, but that is a great night by many defenders, standers. But that's more of the play that we're used to seeing from the Cyborg.
Coming in at the top of the crease and knocked down and just obviously couldn't get a good shot away there.
Still about 17 seconds to go on Tyson Bell's second penalty.
A rush on the power play. Hill with a save off the shoulder. Reset on the shot clock. Matthews. Far side for Church. Now out comes Bell. Back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. To the near crease. Shatler jumps to avoid hitting the crease, but he was there. Now Bell in transition. Tyson Bell stops. Starts up again. Looking for an open man. Looking to tie up this game. Hossack. And here for Eric Fennell. Fennell. Chris Boucher. Boucher coming in. Looks, shoots, and a save right in the left pad of Adam Shoot.
We talked about how Shoot was going to be a storyline here, not just tonight, but all season long in Saskatchewan. Talking to everyone, whether it's coaching staff, someone from their leadership group, they said they have full confidence in Shoot being the heir apparent in between the pipes. And he's shown tonight he's standing strong. Just 5 goals in that first half.
Shatler. Here's Courier. Courier shoots at Hill down, making the stop. Looks up the floor. Didn't see an opportunity there, so just plays it safe. And here come the Thunderbirds with 11:20 left here in the quarter. Lots of lacrosse to be played here tonight in the nest. Clark Peterson. Peterson to Dutch. To Steph LeBlanc. LeBlanc's got an open man at the top. Kyle Jackson with a pass. Peterson shoots. He scores! Clark Peterson. It's 6-6 in the nest.
All right. Take your Webster's dictionary, scroll through, find perfect ball movement. You're going to find it here. LeBlanc, flip pass to Jackson, Jackson to Peterson, and Peterson connects to the back of the net. We'll see here, over the top, a coach's dream, and a perfect placed shot by CP24 to tie this game up at 6. Great job by the defense to kill off the penalty, and then the Thunderbirds go to work on offense and tie this game up at 6.
Withers will scoop this one up off the draw. Takes a whack, shovels it over here to Kyle Jackson. And Jackson waiting for some other offensive weapons to get out in place. Penalty coming up. Peterson showing some leadership skills now, getting everyone in direction. Looking like about a 6-year player out there. His young career comes in. Hangs on to it. Only a second left here on the shot clock. Peterson at the buzzer scores, but it's going to be waved off. Just a second, maybe even a half a second too late.
I think that's going to be the right call. I don't know if they're going to take a look at it. But we'll take a look here. Look to see if you can see the shot clock. Peterson lets it go, and that's a great call by Josh Hiltz on the floor, as that is well expired almost before he even got the shot off. So great call there by the officials, but good news for the T-Birds. They're gonna get an opportunity here on the man advantage to try to take their first lead of this evening's contest. And notice here, Pete, it's gonna be Reese Dutch who's playing the top of the power play this time.
The veteran, here's Peterson, across shot, the ball rolling, couldn't get a spin. That's all it was, spun the wrong way.
Game of inches, Pete.
Yeah, it sure is. Dutch at the top, fires, and a save by Schutz. Rebound controlled by the Rush. They're short-handed as they lug it up the floor. And the ball will be played by Chris Corbeil. Corbeil, Holden Garland. He's got a goal in this one. 6'6", Keenan. Pass it here for Schattler to take. Back to Keenan. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Over the far crease, intercepted, broken up, and it's Tyson Bell with it. Bell up the floor. And Peterson will just slow it down a little bit. Lots of power play time left. A minute to go in the man advantage here for Halifax. Dutch. Kyle Jackson. Back to Reese Dutch. Pass, Dutch looks, shoots, scores! Halifax leads it for the first time tonight. It's 7-6 T-Birds.
Welcome to Halifax, Reese Dutch. Well, you can see he's fired up, scoring a goal for his new club. A guy who was originally supposed to be a healthy scratch here tonight, but with the late scratch of Cody Jamieson, we see Dutch come into the game. And it's a beautiful shot there by the veteran. Pass comes across, and he just unloads, piping in, ping, and right to the back of the net. That's one of the many reasons why they picked up Reese Dutch. Yes, his leadership. He's a veteran. He adds depth, but he has elite goal scoring, as we see there on that power play marker. 7-6, Halifax, they're up.
It's a nice option to have when you can grab a late addition like that to put him in the lineup. With that kind of veteran presence, here's Corbeil, 7-6 here with just under 9 to go in the third quarter. Here come the Rush. Matthews, wearing that familiar number 42. For Church. Church having a pretty good night tonight. Matthews is going to come in. He's double teamed. Somebody's got to be open, and there's the pass to the open man. Pallas is the guy. Marshall Pallas and Warren Hill. No problems, and Halifax will get the ball back.
Great job by Pallas to even get that pass off and through. That's one thing. Talking to Jeff McComb, he said, boy, this kid, he has unbelievable vision. During practice, once or twice a time, they scratch their head and say, how did he see that?
Bushi with the pass and cuts through the middle. A sidearm shot taken right on net, and a save by Adam Schutz. So the Rush trailing for the first time tonight. We'll see how they respond. Looking to tie it up. Keenan gets the play going. In for Schattler. Jeff Schattler, the veteran. Over here for Church. Courier back to Schattler. One hand on a stick. Looks, shoots, and Hill got a piece. Loose ball over the far boards. Shot clock expires. It is 7-6. Halifax leading. We'll be back. You're watching National Lacrosse League action on TSN.
NLL on TSN is brought to you in part by Alterna Savings. Alterna offers easy, more personal financial services and puts the good in banking. Visit Alterna.ca to learn more. By Fanatics.ca, the NLL's home for officially licensed everything. Visit Fanatics.ca today. And by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate. Believe you will.
(7-6) ball game here. Halifax looking to increase their lead. Welcome back to the East Coast. Thunderbirds with the ball. Fennell moves it. Opening up as Peterson comes over to Dutch. Has to hustle over towards the near boards to try and get it back. 4-on-2 battle. Saskatchewan all over here, but somehow Keel almost came out with it, but he was eventually knocked down to the carpet. And the rush head up the other way.
So many times when you watch a defensive stand from the rush, a player from the opposing team hits the carpet, and almost before that body hits the carpet, the ball's up and they're up. And it's remarkable to watch.
Mark Matthews with it right now. He goes to his weak side, but still gets a solid shot off. Right side, left side, doesn't matter. The kid can shoot the ball.
No, he's unbelievable. We talked about it off the hop. He's a big body, silky mitts. He's just an absolute treat to watch, and he's been unbelievable tonight. No goals, but it doesn't matter. He's the mailman dishing it out.
Shot, nice save by Shoot. Rebound up for grabs. Messenger will likely get it. He does. Heads it up the floor for Cornwall. He comes in. He shoots. He scores. Jeff Cornwall has tied it. It's 7-7 here.
Mike Messenger once again. He has been unbelievable tonight. And so has this transition from the rush. As we'll see here, Messenger picks up the loose ball, actually fights through a couple of checks, and it's a perfectly placed ball right to Cornwall. And Cornwall blasts that one by Hill. Tie ball game up at 7.
That pass and the catch, not as easy. Well, maybe easy for these guys, but not as easy as it looks. I mean, you got to have some good hands, good timing.
They make it look easy, don't they,
They make it
Pete?
look easy.
They
That's
certainly
exactly
do.
what they do. So a 7-7 game. What a start here tonight. And another face-off win by Withers. He's going to go to the net, passes it off. Peterson shoots. Oh, Clark Peterson with a golden opportunity. Couldn't convert. 6 minutes to go in the quarter. Corbeil with it. Chris Corbeil. Certainly one of the nice guys in the National Lacrosse League. Matthews will come off the near boards. Heads towards the top, and good defensive play by Graham Hossack, forcing Matthews out. Only a second left. A penalty, I think, coming up, right? With only a second or two left of the shot clock, and it's going to go against Halifax.
Yeah, it's going to be Tyson Bell once again. We'll see the replay here. Littner goes to throw that pick, and Bell does a great job trying to blow up the pick. That's what you're taught to do, Pete. Blow up the pick before they can set it. But instead of him making that little side step there and pushing through, he pops Littner just too hard on the back, and Littner goes down. They're going to call that 9 times out of 10.
So the rush on the man advantage. Matthews to Church. Back to Matthews, Church. Keenan comes through, trying to feed it over to Littner. Broken play, but Church gets it to him now. Back to Church, taking a peek. Matthews with it. Thought about the backhand pass, moves it down to Littner. Back to Matthews. Matthews rolls the stick and shoots. Goes wide, and a loose ball up for grabs. Matthews knocked down off the ball there a little bit by Hossack. Shot coming, a nice save by Warren Hill. And nice job by Luke Magna to stay out of the crease, or did he? Oh, just caught a foot in there. Back in. Tough break for Halifax.
Graham Hossack must be hearing us talk about the beast play of...
Back to the top for Matthews. Power play continues. Church down to the crease. Shot by Shatler as he jumps to avoid getting into the purple paint. Matthews, again, one-timer, quick stick, they score. Jeff Shetler on the power play. And once again, the Rush are out in front.
Again, power play. We'll see right here, and it's almost the same goal every single time. Matthews with a skip to the crease this time. But we'll see this one here, Shatler, and it's a great feed. Such deception from Matthews. Uses that body to make it seem like he's gonna actually go across. Instead, he brings it across his body, goes to the crease, and Shatler has that great quick stick. We saw from the other side, Littner score a near identical goal. Beauty, thing of beauty from this Rush offense on the man advantage. Again, Pete, we talked about it at nauseum today. Transition and power play. That is the Rush's bread and butter. And that's allowed them to be in this game here at 7-7.
Withers to Kyle Jackson. Jackson lives right here in Halifax. Is a big part of the Thunderbirds community here. Penalty coming up. It's going to go against the Rush. There goes Warren Hill for the extra runner. Off the top. Oh, no. Nice job to grab it off the glass by Jackson. Here's Dutch with a shot. He scores! Reese Dutch. He's liking it here in Halifax.
He's making that commute all the way from the West Coast, worth every penny, as it's his second goal of the game. And this one just sneaks right by that right-handed shoot all the way from Carmichael Street. We'll see it. Great release right here by Dutch. But how about Chris Boucher there? He's a skilled guy, but he's getting his nose dirty, setting those picks. And Dutch again with a great celly. 8-7 to score. Halifax back up on top.
4:05 to go here in the third quarter. Here's another draw win by Withers. He goes in. There's the pass, and trying to grab it here. Withers coming in to help out, and eventually he's like a dog at a bone. Tracks it down, and now Campbell will play it. The veteran just slowing things down a little bit. He's got a goal here tonight. Out in front, cutting out towards the top of the crease with Steph LeBlanc. Only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Stephen Keogh, he's due. He comes in, shoots, just misses Keogh.
Silky little toe drag from Keogh, not able to convert on the shot there. I think if that went in the back of the net, Pete, that would have counted. I think he got the shot off to hit the goalie before the buzzer sounded.
Mark Matthews. Someone got a stick on it. That's a great defensive play. And here comes a 2-on-1. Bell across. Here comes Brock. Shoots. Oh, David Brock with a great opportunity in transition. And now the Rush up the other way.
Huge stop by Shoot. Standing strong there. A huge bounce back there. Making that save to keep this a tie ball game.
A bounce shot. No good. Whistle goes. 2:47 left here in the third. It's a 8-8 lacrosse game. A good one here tonight on the East Coast. You're watching NLL action on TSN. Get all the breaking NLL news, updates, stories, and more right into your inbox. Sign up for the NLL newsletter today by going to NLL.com. And you should be going there sooner than later. Lots of action tonight, including right here in Halifax. 8-8 your score with 2:40 to go here in the third. Dutch with it. Dutch having a heck of a second half, moves it over to the far side. Wants it back, he gets it, looks out in the crease, in between his legs. Oh, what a chance by Stephen Keogh. Great play, great save, great play all around, Gregor.
Unbelievable stuff from the Beach Boys. Stephen Keogh takes the hit there too, but the roof of the nest would have absolutely popped off. Beers absolutely creams him from behind. And that's just the player that Stephen Keogh is. I talked about how this COVID break has done a lot of good for some of these older guys. And Keogh, not as long in the tooth as a guy like Campbell, but he plays such a hard-nosed, gritty game. He's been through so many injuries. He's in the best shape that we've seen, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact he's had some time to rest.
Yeah, it never hurt. That's for sure. Looked real good there. Here's a chance for some nice ball movement, a power play. Rush getting penalized at the top. Dutch, Bushi fires wide. Bushi getting a little extra floor time with Austin Shanks gone. We haven't seen him since early in the game. Shot coming over the top. Dutch denied. So under 2 to go. Bounce pass all the way up the floor. Penalty coming up. Little interference call maybe going against Halifax. Schattler. Church with it. Scoops it over here to Mark Matthews. Matthews, one hand on a stick. Rolling. Shot coming. That goes wide. Courier grabs the loose ball off the boards, but he runs out of time. Roughed up by Bell a little bit. 1:25 to go in this quarter. See what the call officially is going to be.
It's going to be a trip on Clark Peterson, but we'll let Brandon Hessen let us know. There you go. Sorry for the spoiler alert. That's my bad. But again, Pete, a lot of self-inflicted wounds on both sides of the ball, we'll be quite honest. But once again, this potent power play for Saskatchewan will get back to work. They've been automatic.
Schattler moves the ball over to Courier.
Oh, sorry, my bad. There's still 45 seconds left in that other penalty, so we're going to be 4-on-4 for a bit.
Good defensive play there by Graham Hosick. Hosick looking for it, sets a little pick for Gillies. Gillies shoots, he misses. Rebound, Hosick diving to try and grab it. The Thunderbirds almost taking the lead. The fans run to their seats.
Thunderbirds fans behind the net are saying that was a good goal.
Can't wait to get another look. Palace.
17 seconds left on that rush penalty.
Meantime, 4-on-4 lacrosse. Matthews pops it out front. Couple fakes, shot. And Littner denied. Shot at the buzzer, stopped by Warnhill. Looks up the floor. Doesn't see anyone there. Makes the safer pass here to Campbell. Now a power play, but Halifax has the ball. Timing worked out well. Kill off a good chunk of this penalty. The 50 seconds that are left in it anyhow. Here's a chance out in front. Keogh again. Driving hard towards the top of the crease. Broken up by the rush. 8-8 is going to be your score as we head into the fourth quarter.
We knew this was going to be an electric game, and fast and furious it comes. BG 6. Brad Gillies, does he score? And oh, unbelievably close.
Wow, fourth quarter action coming up. You're watching the NLL on TSN. And welcome back inside the nest here in Halifax, Scotiabank Center. Pete Halliday along with Pat Gregoire and Tyson Geik here tonight. And we have guaranteed rate on board, and you pretty much guaranteed one heck of a lacrosse game tonight, Pat. And we got it.
We knew it was going to be an electric game, Pete. We knew there was going to be some flares for the dramatic, and anytime these two teams meet, we've seen some great games. The best game of the year came last year. But we'll be honest, a little bit sloppy on both sides. Some errors, some shooting themselves in the foot, we'll call it. But they're still figuring things out. It's been over 2 years since these teams have been on the floor. Overall, from an entertaining standpoint, it's been electric.
It has been, yeah. Certainly, the video coaches may have some work cutting some tape tonight on things they want to improve in. But hey, it has been a very entertaining game, as you mentioned. And Jake Withers continuing to dominate the dot. Campbell moves it over, and he'll get it to Graham Hosick. Halifax starting the quarter shorthanded. Boucher has 21 seconds left in his penalty.
And building off that note, Pete, things have started to really tighten up as the game has progressed. Those mistakes are starting to go away.
Eric Fennell. Fennell got 2 players on him, trying to get somewhere, one hand on his stick. Good effort. Too little, too late. Shot clock expired, and it's going to be the rush. But it's back to 5-on-5.
Bobby Kidd, the third there, doing a great job. Boy, he continues to get more and more comfortable. This rookie, I'm excited to see what he can do in this rush defensive system.
Littner with it here for the rush. Passes it over to the far side. Stolen by Halifax. They'll go down. Odd man rush. Bell with speed. Coming in. Scores! Tyson Bell. His first of many. He felt the need for speed. And Halifax have taken the lead.
The second Tyson Bell was picked up by this Halifax Thunderbirds team. You knew he was going to be a fan favorite, and already tonight, getting involved in the rough stuff. Yes, a couple of penalties his coaching staff would like back, but it's plays like this, calling it up with the celly there, just showing how dynamic of a player he is. But how about Luke Magnon throwing a little bit of a pick there, just enough to create some space so Tyson Bell can get the phone out, make a call, and regain the lead here for the T-Birds.
Tyson Bell. Huge pickup for Halifax. Took him a while, took everyone a while to get in here with the delay of returning to lacrosse, but boy, he was chomping at the bit. And now he's got one as a Thunderbird. 9-8. T-Birds out in front again. Here come the rush, looking to tie it up. Still playing towards the top. Matthews, the courier. Teammates with the Peterborough Lakers back in the MSL in Ontario. Here comes Jake Withers, who's also on that team. Shot taken. That goes wide. And the ball up for grabs. That's going to be scooped up by Kyle Rubish. Rubish moves it, gets it right back, rolls, heads to the net. He shoots a bounce shot. Good play, but just missed the net, goes off the glass, and it should be Halifax ball here. It is. Play is blowing in. And it's going to be David Brock to Bell. Both newcomers here in Halifax. Boucher sends it into Stephen Keogh. Comes to the near side, shot by LeBlanc. Steph LeBlanc. And missed by much, gets a reset. Keogh passes it in. Looks to set a little pick. Comes over to Eric Fennell. Fennell, one hand on his stick. Heads to the net. There's the pass. There's the shot. Stop. Rebound. Oh, just fired wide. Boucher had the chance there.
Great job by Stephen Keogh to absolutely sprint to the bench to allow his defense to get there, because as we know, the rush, they can get up and out in a hurry. That took away the transition opportunity for the green and black.
Josh Courier, nice backhand feet, just out of the reach though of Church. And a loose ball will be controlled here by the Thunderbirds. Luke Magnon gets it ahead for Campbell. Kyle Jackson. Jackson looking, shooting a heavy shot, follows up on it, and he gets the ball and a reset. Nice play by Jackson, bounces it over towards the top. Clark Peterson, he's going to slow it down. He's going to, oh, we got a goalie issue. Adam Shute doesn't want to play without the lid.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I wouldn't go Johnny Bauer there, no bucket there. Well, it wouldn't be a smart idea, and he's a smart guy.
You look like a young Pat Baker there, legendary lacrosse goalie.
Adam Shute with a PhD, a very, very cerebral human being, but also a smart goaltender. Does a great job dissecting film, breaking things down, and he's a guy that just dominates his angles, and we've seen that. Not too active in the crease, but you don't need to be when you have great angles like that.
Here's Kyle Jackson with it for the Thunderbirds. The pass. He was trying to find LeBlanc, but the rush break it up. They'll head up the other way. Cornwall with a pass. Cutting through, looking for it, but no good. And Halifax. It's Bell again. Tyson Bell. He's going to roll it on the carpet, and it's going to be Jackson to take it. Jackson moves it over to Clark Peterson. To Stephen Keogh. Keogh's got some room. Back to Jackson. Keogh. Keogh looking. Stephen Keogh turning. Running out of time on the shot clock. Eric Fennell with 1 second left, and they run out of time. It's going to be Saskatchewan ball.
Great defensive stand there by Saskatchewan. Ryan Dilks just with phenomenal defense one-on-one on Stephen Keogh. Not really giving him much there at all. Former defensive player of the year.
Quick stick shot. Littner trying to sneak it past Warren Hill, but Hill making the save. Pushes the ball up to center here for David Brock. Brock trying to get away from his man, Kyle Rubish. Almost picked off. In fact, it might be Matt Beers intercepting right off the bench, and it was a close call too on the change. Thunderbirds get it. They'll move it ahead. Bell. Tyson Bell.
What a free agent signing that was for Saskatchewan, getting Matt Beers. This defense is loaded with Corbeil, Rubish, Dilks, Messenger. Oh yeah, and then you add Matt Beers in there. Are you kidding me?
Steph LeBlanc. No worries there for Shoot. Makes the save. Passes it ahead. He'll get it here for Mike Messenger. 3-on-1. Pass out front. They score! Holden Garland, his second of this lacrosse game. And once again, it's tied. It's 9-9.
Unfortunate bounce the other way for Halifax as Tyson Bell went down with an injury. We're not going to be able to see it on the replay, but what a ball from Shoot there over to Messenger. Messenger with a bounce pass in transition, and Garland with his second of the game. But what a game number 8 Messenger is having tonight for Saskatchewan. That's a perfectly placed ball by Garland. Garland was a rookie last season, very sound defensively, get involved in transition when he can, but this season I think we're going to have a real breakout here from the Thorold, Ontario native.
It's off to a good start, that's for sure, Pat. 9-9 with 9:41 remaining here. I'll say in regulation, because the last time they met here in the nest, it went into OT with a couple calls that went back and eventually won by the Rush. And they win this draw. Dilks to Messenger. Protecting the ball here in his stick. Gets it here for Shatler. There's a heavy shot right on goal. Hill making the save. Passes it up to Graham Hossack. Hossack, was seeing him score a few here in Halifax on transition, but he gets it to Keogh, scores! Stephen Keogh, and a touch of the turf. And Halifax lead it 10-9.
Turf swipes from Stephen Keogh. The nest is rocking. Nature is healing. Great feed from Graham Hossack. Stephen Keogh, too much time, too much space. He blasts that one by Shoot. We got some rough stuff after that. No one in the box. The officials letting them play here, but a great view right there. That one goes right off the hip of Shoot. But Keogh has such a hard release. Sometimes even if it gets a piece of the goalie, it's still gonna find its way in the back of the net. And that's exactly what we saw there on that goal, the 10th goal for Halifax as they regained the lead.
How many times did we see in 2019-2020 Stephen Keogh having a bit of a quiet start, and then in the fourth quarter, when they need a goal the most, he comes up with a big one.
Mr. Fourth Quarter.
And another draw win by Withers. Well over 800 career wins now. There's the ball played here by Kyle Jackson. Jackson shoots a heavy shot again. Stopped by Adam Shoot. Shoot moves it ahead. He'll get it to Matt Beers. Right-handed shooting Beers. Just slow it here down just a bit. Everyone getting into position for the rush. shot away again from tying this one up. Here's a shot coming by Keenan. Goes in behind the net. And Warren Hill does a good job to play it over here to Colton Armstrong. His army is here tonight.
Yes.
The camouflage purple pants and all.
Just a quick little 17-hour drive for the Armstrongs.
Yeah, there's a shot. But they avoided the moose. They didn't hit any moose on the way, which is good. 10-9 for the home team here tonight. With under 8 minutes to go. Bell trying to create havoc for Connor McClellan. Church with it. Robert Church got some room to take a shot. He scores! Robert Church. It's 10-10 with 7:36 to go.
Robert Church dices up the best defender in the game and then goes on his wrong side, and he's looking like he's back in his Drexel days, scoring on the run, fading away, an unbelievably placed shot. And you see as soon as that hits the back of the net, who's there but Mark Matthews to give him a big hug as they tie this game up in 10s.
Ten apiece. Weathers once again against Messenger. Obviously taking over 20 draws tonight. 24 draws, I guess we've had, 25 maybe. Here's Campbell. In for Eric Fennell.
They lost Jeremy Thompson to free agency, and Messenger clearly doing a fine job carrying a heavy load tonight with faceoffs and being arguably their best defender, or one of their best defenders, I should say.
Fennell to the far crease. Peterson looking for it. Loose ball's going to be controlled here. Shot clock goes anyhow. 7:02 to go in the fourth. 10-10. You're watching the NLL on TSN. Let's take a look at the Alterna savings. Save of the game, Pat.
This one really could have changed the tide of the game. Peterson with his second, yes, you heard me if you're just tuning in now, his second penalty shot of the game, but shoot, stands strong, makes that big leg save. And I talked about it, how, you know, he's a great goaltender who, you know, plays his angles well, but he shows off his athleticism there, making the big stop on Clark Peterson.
Well, the rush will start with the net empty, start the playoff here with 6 runners. Here's Church. And now Shoot will head back between the pipes. Church against Bell. Yelley's had it for a second. Keenan gets it down to the corner for Matthews. Matthews met by David Brock. Yelley's comes in to help out. And the shot clock expires. Get game day ready and shop your favorite team's jerseys and merchandise. Head to fanatics.ca to get all your National Lacrosse League and team gear today.
Seen a lot of Halifax Thunderbirds gear around the arena.
And around town, too.
Yes, absolutely. You take a walk anywhere around this arena here. On a game day, even on an off day, you'll see a lot of people rocking some T-Bird swag.
Thunderbirds with it. There's a shot. They score! 11-10. Dutchy with another one.
And I think some of these folks might have to be logging on to Fanatics tomorrow, throw their hats onto the field, because that's number 3 for Dutchy. Just a beautiful passing play here. Jackson finding Dutch. He's on his wrong side. Does his best LeBron James impression with a fadeaway 3. We'll see it right here, right by that lower glove, once again on the offside of Shoot. And back and forth we go. Halifax leads 11-10.
Dutch has been clutch on the East Coast tonight in his first game in a Halifax Thunderbirds uni. Has given the T-Birds the lead, but as we've seen all game, Saskatchewan have battled back, never really letting the Thunderbirds get on a roll or get on a run. We got a battle for the ball in the far corner, won by Halifax.
And Halifax defense, got to give them a credit, a ton of credit here. They've done a great job stifling this high-powered offense. Yes, they've given up 10, but not many of these goals have been 5-on-5 clean chances. Saskatchewan's had to work for them, either on power play, transition, or open looks to the middle.
Steph LeBlanc hustled over to the far side and grabbed that loose ball. Gets it to Kyle Jackson. Jackson heads to the crease. He dives a shot. It's handled by Shoot. Well, it's going to be rush ball.
And Kyle Jackson looking okay. It wouldn't be a Halifax Thunderbirds without KJ47 taking flight. Air Jackson trying a goal here that always somehow finds its way onto the top 10.
Certainly does. It's come close a couple times here tonight. And Halifax with a good defensive stop. Here comes Tyson Bell. Bell with the pass. He'll get it to Peterson. Shot and denied. Shoot with the save with 4:49 to go in the fourth. It's the NLL on TSN. All right, welcome back as we take a look at the Fanatics' turning point of the game.
Jake Withers causes the turnover, picks up the loose ball, goes all the way down the floor. We'll see it one more time here. Takes that shot, takes the big hard hit there as well. And that really turned the tide. The Birds scored 4 goals and really brought this in back of a game. And yes, that was a long time ago in the second quarter. But if he doesn't score that goal there, he doesn't get a run going for his team, who knows how this game ends up.
11-10, Halifax leading. Courier with the ball for the rush. Looks for an open man. Quick shot, Hill with a save. Rebound, and a full 30 for Saskatchewan. Jeff Schattler. Schattler looking for Courier, and Hill intercepts. Man, they love Warren Hill here in Halifax, don't they?
How could you not? Big saves, great passes, and even picks off passes there as we saw.
Jake Withers flips the ball into the stick of Stephen Keogh. And Keogh unloads it. It comes over here to LeBlanc. Back to Clark Peterson. Peterson, Eric Fennell with a fake, heads to the crease. Lost the ball, retrieves it in the corner. He's running out of time, and the shot clock expires.
Again, another great defensive stand from the rush. Yes, we've seen the offense be the one throwing that counter punch and scoring goals, but every time Saskatchewan gives up a goal, they come back with a huge 30-second clock kill or a caused turnover.
Keenan, here's Church. Quick stick attempted, but didn't get it away. Loose ball, and it's controlled by David Brock. And the Thunderbirds have it down in Saskatchewan territory. Brock to Graham Hossack. Hossack's got a little room here, but the ball's stripped, and it's loose in the corner. The Rush get it. Here's Beers. With just over 3 minutes remaining. It's a 1-goal lead by Halifax. Little swim move, shot, stopped by Hill. Hey, Rush season tickets and single game tickets are now on sale. Don't miss their home opener next Saturday, December 11th on Co-op Field at Saskatchewan Center. Man, why wouldn't you get some tickets to see the Rush this season?
Might be a little bit of a spicy take, but you've got the Halifax Thunderbirds with the nest here, and then Saskatchewan Center, arguably, in my opinion, the two best buildings, the two best fan bases Now we've seen in two of the newer, relatively fan bases we've seen here in Canada in the National Lacrosse League.
The rush with it. Penalty to Gillies. Power play looking to tie it up. Church down to the crease. Couple fakes. Church gets again. He shoots. Saved by Warren Hill. Rebound up for grabs. Luke Magnan trying to get in there. However, is controlled by Schattler and a reset, a full 30 as they continue on the power play. Matthews, just a simple little feed, gets it back towards the top to Church, down to the crease. They score on the power play. The Rush have tied it. It's 11-11.
Jeff Schattler, the former Transition Player of the Year, also winning a NLL Cup MVP just a couple of years ago, showing off his skill and his patented climb the wall celly here. Great ball movement. Keenan looks, finds Matthews up top to Church, and bam, back again. So this time it's not Matthews making that skip from the top, it's Church, but still gets back to that back door, and it's a quick stick, bam, in the back of the net. The ball movement from this Rush defense has been tremendous, and you know, Halifax got to figure out a way how they can take away that backdoor look. But when you do take away the backdoor look, you're then giving opportunities to the big shooters at the top. And I guess that's why they call it a man advantage, Pete.
Yeah, 100%. Messenger has a chance to grab this one, but in comes Withers. And he's going to create a little havoc. Tyson Bell, David Brock in there too, as the ball goes from the face-off dot all the way into the far corner.
Still no possession. Now we get a possession.
The Rush get it after all that. Cornwall, as the Rush look to take the lead. Under 2 to go here in the fourth. Church, Palace. Back here to the near side for Church. Fans chanting defense. And they got some defense.
Oof.
Hornhill scoops it. Tyson Bell thought about loading it down the floor, but settles it down. With 1:25 to go. Steph LeBlanc to Clark Peterson. Peterson to LeBlanc. Rolls towards the top. He's got some room. He shoots, and a good defensive play. Rush player getting a stick on it. Pass up the floor. Oh, and just unable to grab it was Chris Corbeil.
And there's not too many guys on that Rush transition or defense that you want than their captain in the ball. The guy's absolutely clutch, but just a bit too far for him as he can't corral the ball.
Kyle Jackson with it with under a minute to go in regulation. Jackson, he shoots, hits the post. Oh my goodness, a half-inch away from giving the Thunderbirds the lead.
And they're gonna go upstairs to take a look if this one went barred down and in. Under 2 minutes here, so anything close, they're usually gonna take a look. What an absolute howitzer from Kyle Jackson. If they called that a goal, this place would have popped off. We'll see the shot. And not really close at all. And look at the English on the ball there.
Yeah.
As that bounces, we'll see a great look again right here. The shot comes in, takes a funny bounce, it goes off the pipe and out.
All tied at 11s. 43.5 seconds to go. So no goal, good call. Worth a look though.
As mentioned, under 2 minutes, they're going to take a look at anything that is close. But the Michigan man almost burying a huge goal with 43 seconds to go. Instead, we're going to stay tied here, 11 seconds to go, and Saskatchewan's going to start with the ball.
Now referee blows the play down, doesn't want it to restart yet. What a lacrosse game here tonight. I mean, we knew it probably would be, but it's been a while. You never know. But it's pretty much everything and more here tonight so far. We still have some lacrosse to be played. Quick turnaround, too, for Halifax. They're right back here on Friday night.
Yeah, you already talked about that home opener for the Rush, which will be electric. Well, a great Friday night battle again, an Alterna Cup matchup against the Toronto Rock.
Play is whistled in. Messenger gets it quickly. Up here for Church, who moves it over to the far side. Church gets it back. Church coming in. Decides to pull out. There's the pass. Matthews shoots. A shot. Rebound. Warren Hill. Back-to-back stops. In now, it's Scotty Campbell. 20 seconds to go. Campbell up the floor to Tyson Bell. Bell down to the crease to Campbell. Oh, he just quite couldn't get it into the stick. Went off the shaft. And a timeout is called by Saskatchewan with 11 seconds to go.
And this was a massive stop by Hill on Mark Matthews. And then another save, that time on Schattler. And then this is the great odd man rush. Bell. And just the pass just a little bit too low there for Campbell to hold on to it. And great timeout call there by Jeff McComb and his staff to make sure that, they're going to get a last possession here. But not too many times a goaltender is going to be able to turn away Mark Matthews with a clean look like that. And then a rebound there by Jeff Schattler.
That's a tough pass to receive. You're right. It was a little low, and he kind of jammed him a little bit. You can't fault Campbell. But he would like to have it back, but not really much you could do about that one.
I mean, Pete, even if he grabs it, he's tight on the creases, sticks down low. He's going to have to get that up. It's a really, really tough play, but with under 20 seconds left, you're a competitor. You're going to force that ball.
Well, here we go. This could be it. Net is empty for the extra runner. 7 seconds. Here's Church with it. He shoots. Hill with a save. A shot at the empty net. They kick it away. Another shot coming at the buzzer, but phone the neighbors. Wake the kids for the second time in a row. The Rush, the Thunderbirds are going to overtime.
Would you have it any other way, Pete?
I don't think so.
The game of the year last year between these two illustrious franchises goes to overtime for the second straight time here in the Nest. What an unbelievable battle. Yes, we didn't have the fourth quarter heroics, but back and forth, back and forth. One team scores, the other one throws that counterpunch. And it's been pure electricity here in the Nest. The first game back.
Let's take a look here how we got to a tie game. Matthews was just a little pass, and then boom, Schattler ties it up and forces overtime.
Yeah, we've seen Schattler score so many big goals in his NLL career, and it's sad to see that it is coming to an end, but perhaps a farewell tour for him. And he said he wants to go out on top with the championship. And after seeing this team tonight, after seeing both these team tonights, I think Vegas got it right. I think these two teams are top caliber championship ready franchises, and what a show they put on here tonight in Halifax, Pete.
Well, it's right back at it, as we mentioned. Friday night fans, don't forget the Thunderbirds are back at the Nest Friday, December the 10th to take on the Toronto Rock. Get ready to roll for that one. Warren Hill will be ready. And you should too.
And the Toronto Rock, just looking at the out-of-town scoreboard right now, leading 6-5 at the start of the second half. Don't flip to that game just yet. Stay with us for overtime, sudden death.
Next goal wins. And how important is this draw? How important is this one?
It is massive. And for some interested viewers, 11-11 heading into overtime. 22 goals scored. The over-under set at 22.5. So if you bet the over, that one's going to cash for you.
Wow. Withers against Messenger on this crucial draw here, and Halifax will get possession. And the first shot here at winning this one. Clark Peterson. Peterson to Hasek. And here comes out the offense. It's going to come over here to Dutch. He's Dutch. Over to Fennell. Down low. Jackson to Fennell. Back to Jackson from a sharp angle. Hits the crossbar. Ball up for grabs. And it's going to be Saskatchewan getting that one. That's huge. And here they come. Chris Corbeil. He's going to flip it into the stick of Mark Matthews. In OT. Church with it. Church. Good defensive stop. And then a possession call going against Halifax and a 30-second reset here for the Rush. Keenan with it. Keenan to Courier. Out in front. Oh, and a chance for Littner. Didn't get it. Halifax with it. In transition, Bell. One hop. Grabs it. Oh, and he can't get it to go. But that all being said, Halifax was there to take it. Kyle Jackson with the ball. Jackson. Chris Boucher. Boucher gets a pick from Keogh. Moves it over to Kyle Jackson. There's a pass for Steph LeBlanc. He shoots. Oh, a bounce shot. Wouldn't he love to get it here? But Cornwell up the other way. Cornwell coming in. A little twister. Rebound. Shot. Warren Hill. Huge save by Hill. He's on his back. And the ball doesn't cross the line. The king of the hill is huge. Wow.
What unbelievable athleticism by Hill. Makes the first stop and the second, and has the wherewithal, the heads up to make sure that doesn't cross the line.
Dutch moves it over. Steph LeBlanc. Halifax trying to win it here in OT. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Clark Peterson bounces it over. Steph LeBlanc. Good defensive play. Taking it away is Kyle Rubish.
Not only does Rubish strip LeBlanc there, but he kicks the ball to the corner with just 2 seconds left on the clock. Does not want anything but a clock kill there. What an unbelievable player. That's why he's the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Palace with the ball here for the Rush. Shatler giving us some room. Shoots, and Hill with a save. Warren Hill has been spectacular here in OT. And once again, Halifax with a chance to win this one. Gillies flips the ball into the stick of Clark Peterson. Peterson in for Jackson. Jackson fires again. He hits another crossbar. Fennell out there too, and now loose ball. Messenger. He gets it. There's the pass. There's the shot. Oh, Warren Hill. That could be the save of the night.
Unbelievable. Warren Hill has been great all night, but this fourth quarter and now overtime, boy, he has stepped up.
Peterson. Peterson's got a little room. Passes it over to the far side. Pass back. Stephen Keogh for the win. No. Stop by Adam Shute. That was a good look by Keogh.
That's the look that they wanted. Timeout here coming by Jeff McComb. Just 2 minutes left here in overtime. And McComb wants to end this. Gonna get a chance here to draw something up for his offense. See Billy D. Smith, the defensive coordinator for this team, and Roger Chrysler chatting up their defense, getting them prepared for this. And we talked about it earlier, just so many dynamic weapons on offense for Saskatchewan, but kudos to Halifax in this defensive unit. And of course, Warren Hill, got to give him his love as well, but they've done a great job stifling this offense.
Oh, you know, there's names you don't get out a whole lot that deserve mentioning on both ends, on the D. Just guys that quietly go about their business. And here we go. We do know it's going to be 12-11 the final, but for who? Last time these two teams met here in Halifax, the Rush went away with the victory. Will they do it again here tonight? We shall see here. Matthews starts the play to Keenan. Keenan to Courier. Here's a shot blocked. Comes right back to Keenan. Out towards the crease. Ends up in the corner, and Halifax with another stop. Here come the Thunderbirds. Up the floor. Gillies coming in to the crease. Oh, and unable to hand it was Luke Magnon.
And Magnon can't believe it. Gillies feeding it to Max offhand there. I don't know if I love that feed there. I love the creativity, but Magnon not being able to corral that ball.
Schattler passes it over. Here's Courier going to the net, and he shoots. No, it's waved off. Crease violation. Oh my goodness. Wow.
You better believe Matt Garrison says we're going to take a look at that one there. Well, Pete, last time these two teams played, we saw overtime and we saw a goal overturned. Is it going to be a flip here? Are we going to see a goal overturned that is allowed? That's real close. I'd like to see if we could get another angle on that. He definitely gets the shot off before, but does he land? And again, that one you're not going to be able to tell because you can't see him hitting the turf quite there. This might be the angle, Pete, that we'll be able to see. And the ball's in there. We might have ourselves a good goal.
The Rush, they got their arms up, some of them over there. They've seen it obviously on video at the bench.
And that's going to be a good goal. That last one there, you could see. They're taking another look here on this angle, but I think that ball crosses the line before he touches the ground. Maybe there's not enough evidence to overturn it, Pete. That's going to be the one thing, but that one angle. And of course, Pete, what we're seeing on our screen is different than what the officials are looking at.
Yeah, different shot.
And as we can see on the screen, as you see everyone's looking up at the screen trying to figure out if in fact there is enough. But they continue to look between two angles right now. So that leads me to be they're really it's not like they know it's a goal. They would have called it already. They need to find if there's enough, conclusive evidence.
Josh Courier will be the overtime hero if it's a good goal here for Saskatchewan.
And Pete, you've seen a lot of him being a Peterborough, Ontario native. He's scored some big goals in his career. And
well, Jeff McComb said that, he's not going to go out there and maybe score 4 or 5, but when you need one, he can come up with a big goal for you. That's the type of player he is, and he may have. Here we go.
After review, the shooter's elbow touches down in the crease prior to the ball crossing the goal line. The call on the field's upheld. No goal.
Pete, I said I thought there could be inconclusive evidence, but clearly Matt Garrison seeing enough to overturn that there. Boy, that's close. That is close.
All comes down to an elbow. Not only is it not a goal, Halifax with the ball. What a turn of events this could be. Here we are in OT. Kyle Jackson has come so close here to ending this one. Here's a pass out towards the crease, comes back to Jackson. He looks, couple little fakes, gets it to Steph LeBlanc, pass down low. Fennell makes his way down low. Backhand feed, Jackson, LeBlanc shoots, back out block. LeBlanc picks up those small, the bounce shot. He shot it wide. Steph LeBlanc with an opportunity to end it.
He's got a couple assists tonight, looking for that first goal as a Thunderbird. What a goal that could be for the hometown potential hero.
The rush. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Church sets a pick. Here's the roll. Here's the shot. Warrenhill with a save. Rebound is going to be a race for it. Courier trying to get there. But here comes Tyson Bell. 2-on-1. Bell with Gillies. Gillies in overtime to Bell. Bell shoots. Just misses Tyson Bell. Oh, man. Just came so close in the rush again with an opportunity here. But down is Shoot in behind his crease, smothering the ball. What action here in Halifax tonight.
Yeah, possession's going to... We'll see a huge stop here. Bell just runs out of space and Shoot just gets the knee on it there. Gillies lost his footing, wasn't able to corral the rebound, but Halifax going to stay with it, Pete.
Boucher with it. Boucher shoots over the top. Rebound. There's another shot and a save by Shoot up the floor. And it's going to be the rush with it. This is Schattler. He's going to work it from the near boards. Looking for an open man. Feeds it here for Courier. Courier denied earlier, and let's see what he can do here. Not a great pass, intercepted off the boards, and it's Graham Hossack. Hossack drops it for David Brock, and Brock is just going to go, you know what, I better just slow this down a little bit. I better slow this down to get off the floor.
Veteran move by a veteran player.
Boucher. In for Clark Peterson. Peterson to the far side. Swung over. And not a great pass there either. But give the rush credit. Another defensive stop on their end. Corbeil. Corbeil to Keenan. Little bounce pass. Littner. Over to Church. Church to Matthews. Matthews fakes. Heads towards the top. Down towards the crease for Courier. There's a shot. Littner. Oh my goodness. That was a crazy angle. At the buzzer, backhander. Oh, too little, too late, but Warrenhill was there if needed.
Wow. Warrenhill looking a little bit shaken up there. He looks okay though. And now Halifax taking a timeout. Stu Montour, the new offensive coordinator for this Thunderbirds team, going to try to chalk something up here and finally end it here for the home team.
Halifax playing without their captain tonight as well. Cody Jamieson, a late scratch.
And of course, Austin Shanks, as you mentioned, went down early.
These saves by Warrenhill are just from this overtime.
That is absolute bananas lands. As he'll, you know what, he's a big body. He plays his angles well, but for a big lad, he is unbelievably athletic, as we see here, making big stop after big stop. And one more, the latest one, that bomb from the outside from Courier. And Hill, it doesn't matter. It's a overtime game. Everything on the line here. And he's over at the bench there, laughing, having a good time. Just a calm, cool demeanor from the King of the Hill.
Stephen Keogh will start the playoff here when they whistle it in. Keogh. And here for Kyle Jackson, who gets it down low in the corner. Dutch, who's having a night. There's a shot coming. Stopped and controlled by Matt Beers. The rush now with an opportunity to end this one. Pierce just leaves it here, flips it into the stick of Pallas. Pallas, he watched closely, passes to the far side. As he got it in there for Courier. There's a shot coming, and Warrenhill out of the goal and hangs into his crease, so he's able to play it here.
Not only is it a great save, Pete, but he controls the rebound and
Just
gets that back. Yep, exactly.
Right. Hossack for Clark Peterson. Peterson, little bounce pass over. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Thunderbirds rolling towards the top. This is Eric Fennell. Fennell switches hands. He scores! Eric Fennell
post game. Adam Shute, what a night. Well, that was one heck of a goal.
We'll see it here. Great job to create some space to get away from Rubish. Fennell not having anything. Messenger draped all over him, has no chance here. Switches hands to righty and buries. Looking like he's back playing for Ohio State. A little field lacrosse. Bam! In the back of the net. You have got to be kidding me. What an absolute duck by Eric Fennell.
He shoots better right-handed than I do, and I'm a righty.
And that is so rare for the folks maybe watching south of the border or not too familiar with field lacrosse. You don't switch hands in box lacrosse unless you're Eric Fennell. He has his own rules.
Must have been the turtleneck he wore to the game tonight. Brought him some luck.
And number 24, Clark Peterson.
They'll make it a 12-11 overtime final for the Halifax Thunderbirds.
You've got to feel for the Saskatchewan Rush. What an unbelievable game they played. Adam Shute silencing the haters, putting up an unbelievable performance in between the pipes. You know, they almost score that goal in overtime. It gets called back. And isn't that just justice? From the last time these two teams played, it was Halifax whose goal got called off, and the other team is the one coming out victorious. But this time, it's the T-Birds who are out on top. And what a gritty performance.
Looks like Tyson might be ready downstairs. If we can go to him, Tice.
I'm just making sure my mic is on here. We're back. Okay, Reese, what an incredible game. You haven't played in so long. First game back, why not play some extra lacrosse?
Why not play some extra lacrosse, man? I mean, what an atmosphere. I mean, kudos to everybody that showed up tonight, everybody watching on TV. I mean, what a game.
Unbelievable story for yourself. You're a late addition to the lineup tonight. Cody Jamieson goes down, you draw in, you come out with a hat trick. You were that driving force for this offense. You got the team back in the game. You started to lead late. What went into this for you? How does it feel?
You know, man, I mean, what a change in mindset. You know, 10 minutes before the game, I thought I was going to be putting my suit back on. You know, our best player and leader goes down with an unfortunate injury. Hopefully it's just minor, but, you know, that's the thing. It's 25 guys on this roster, and we all got to be ready to go at any given time, and I'm just glad I got the opportunity and took the best of it.
Reese, what does a win in this fashion do for your team so early in the season?
A win like that at any point brings everybody together. This is already the tightest cohesive group I've been on in a long time, over 635 days to be exact. But, I mean, you know what? That's just something to build on. What a big win against an amazing Saskatchewan team that I'm sure we're going to see sometime down the line.
Reese, great game. Enjoy it with the team.
Thanks, Tyson.
Guys.
Thank you, Tyson. What a game. Martin is back, and the Thunderbirds are back to where they started. 12-11, your post-game show's coming up next. You're watching the NLL on TSN.
Welcome back to the NLL on TSN. A 12-11 final here for this Halifax Thunderbirds. The excitement in this building, it is still so loud, but we're going to take a look back to the keys to success for either team, and I think we can look no further than what we talked about with the netminders for either side. Warren Hill, Adam Shute, absolutely phenomenal. They kept both of their teams in this game, but Warren Hill just standing so tall. There was a number of chances there for the Saskatchewan Rush. He stood on his head, he made those saves when he had to, and he is ultimately why the Halifax Thunderbirds are able to come out with the win tonight. The Halifax Thunderbirds not really doing a great job of staying out of the penalty box. That's something that they're going to look to improve on, but it is a long season. The team's so excited to come out with the win here, and this is so big for the city of Halifax. Pat and Pete, I'll throw it back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Tyson. Yeah, good one for him to begin with as well.
Yeah.
He was wanting to get into the nest here for all of the last season. Now he's got to experience it. and everyone watching at home as well. What a lacrosse game, Pat. You couldn't ask for a better one to start the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And building off what Tyson said, a wise monkey once said, the king has returned. And that king is Warren Hill, the king of the hill. He was unbelievable in the fourth, in overtime. He really kept this team together. But what a gritty performance from the Thunderbirds. You have Cody Jamieson go down and warm up. That's your captain, your leading scorer. And then Austin Shanks early on gets hurt as well. Now you're down one extra forward. Reese Dutch, a newcomer, comes into the lineup. You know, you have a misbalance of lefties and righties and, you know, so many big names still on that offense, but it's Eric Fennell, a gritty grinder who scores a gorgeous goal to end this off. What an unbelievable game. We knew it was going to be good. I don't know if it's topped last game, but this one was an instant classic.
I think from start to finish, perhaps a better game. Because yes. Saskatchewan got such a big rush last time around. So this one, from the whole 60 minutes, probably a better lacrosse game, and it ended this time for the home team.
Yeah, that's a great point. We didn't see a slow start from either team, although you could argue that it was a little bit sloppy from the start. But as the game progressed, especially in the fourth and in overtime, which we're going to take a look, you know, both these goaltenders were unbelievable. But the post was pretty good too. Kyle Jackson a couple of times on his stick, but Jeff Cornwall gets turned aside. Another stop. It's Dilks this time. He gets put away. The youngster Marshall Powless with an outside shot, but who else but Warren Hill coming up tall. Robert Church, who had himself an unbelievable game. He was turned aside. Courier with another chance. We saw him with a goal taken away. Another outside shot, and again, I mentioned it, but what a finish. What a goal here. Switches hands, bang, in the back of the net. And look at that, just casual, like he's done it before a ton of time. And unbelievable finish for an unbelievable game.
I mean, not only did he switch hands, that was a rocket of a shot for a switch hand. He had some heat on that. So a great finish here tonight. Of course, Thunderbirds are back in action Friday against Toronto, and Saskatchewan back home, their home opener next Saturday. So.
Yeah, and this is a quick turnaround. Like you said, Toronto, obviously another top team, Alterna Cup standings on the line. But Toronto's another team. This is another measuring stick, a barometer game. What other cliches you want to throw out? Well, the Halifax are a championship or bust team, but the team they play tonight, another championship or bust team. The team they're playing next week, Toronto Rock, as you know, Pete, there can only be one champion, but this is how you're going to see who are the true elite teams in the National Lacrosse League.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of Pat Gregoire and Tyson Geik, I'm Pete Dalladay. You've been watching the NLL on TSN. Is that a different